Make sure I got the mute on over here. It's got a little bit of a
delay. I've got to do that once we get started.
That's what I'm waiting on it to do here.
Let's bring it on, baby.
Hush up, woman.
There we go. All right, hello everybody. This is Daniel with Coin Help You, and I'm with Robert Lawson of CoinOpp. And we're going to talk about clean coins and restoring coins, and maybe look at a few images and just talk about it in general, what most people think about it. So you wanted to say a little bit too about your channel there, and
yeah, well, I think a lot of the people in here, they know me, Robert with CoinOpp. We invited Dustin Morgan. He must be busy doing some stuff, but we took, and yeah, me and Daniel's just going to take, and we are just going to chat a little bit. I guess it's about the clean coins. Hello, Bill Betts. I seen you just a little bit ago. My beautiful wife, Floralina, Joe Durbin, Bill 457, Eric Meyer, and everybody else. I don't know all you people, so this is Daniel's channel, but thank you for inviting me, Daniel. Guys, I do know me and Daniel's talked. We're going to try and do this and make this a regular. I know we tried it before on a Monday, but our schedules is just conflicting too much. After my auctions on Wednesdays, I got a little bit of free time, and I know Joe Durbin goes on then at 7 p.m. Central time, and so we're hoping to make this work for everybody. So, and Daniel, he's so busy, he's still getting phone calls.
Yeah, it's very busy. I try to, if I can get people just to send the emails and I can get to them. I know.
Order out, make some money.
So you have two camps on clean coins. Well, you might have three. You have some people who, okay, in some circumstances, you have some that says, no way, don't touch a coin. Don't ever, ever, ever clean a coin. Then you have some people like, well, I like my coins clean. Well, I'm kind of in the middle, because there is cleaning and there's restoration. And there's harshly cleaning the coin, and then there's coins that have PVC, tape residue, possibly some unsightly gunk that was on it that causes the tone that you can't see, maybe a chemical or another cleaning agent that someone used in the past. And I've seen that often where someone would submit a coin after they dipped it and then left the residue on it, and it will tone in the holder because of that. So you see that a lot, and I've even cracked those out and re-dipped them, restored them, and made sure they were clean, and never had a trouble with them being anything but a problem-free coin. And like I said, when I sell coins, I guarantee my coins.
Well, you turn that off.
Thought I did. So you start doing, somebody's really adamant. Bloopers. So anyways, when like NGC or PCGS, they do have restoration services, and they do charge for it. Okay. Now, they'll tell you they don't re-etch, they don't do anything doctoring a coin at all. Matter of fact, I sent several coins in one time. They still charged me, but they did not restore all of them, just one of them, because they'll look at the coin and they'll determine, based on their experience, based on their knowledge, whether your coin should be restored or not. Not all coins can be restored. There are some dark tone coins that you're just going to ruin them if you dip them or you mess with them. Now, whenever I'm talking about cleaning a coin, let's say in the coin shop, I cut out a proof from a mint set, and it's got some gunk on it or it's discolored. I'm only doing coins that are mint state, and I might use Easiest or MS70. Something like that. It's not harsh on the coin. I know a lot of people think that Easiest because it has a little acid in it, but it is so diluted that it doesn't hurt the coin. And you don't want to leave it in there for too long or overnight or anything like that. But, these products have been used for decades by dealers. So there's a track record for both of them. Now, I don't know if you've got much experience with that, Robert. Do you?
Well, when I first started, when I was young, I had taken and accidentally bought a coin that was cleaned, and I didn't know it. So what I did is, after that, for a while, I took some very inexpensive coins from Pocket Change, and I started experimenting with different things. One thing, copper, leave it alone. I mean, just leave it alone, because if you touch it, I don't care how bad it is. I mean, you can improve the view of it, but copper is always going to, you're always going to know it. However, with silver,
Hey,
Hey guys.
here's
Dustin.
Dustin.
I do have a book that what I wanted to just point out is, as Daniel's talking, all the grading companies have conservation services. And I've got a book where Europe, a friend of mine sent it to me on how to conserve coins. And I don't like to call it restoring. I don't like to call it cleaning. I like to call it conserving. Also,
I tried telling you they came in, Robert.
I had to get off, but I went from my auction to talk to Daniel to right here.
I just walked in the door and saw Daniel's notice on my phone, and I was like, let me go set up the microphone.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about clean coins, restoring and what to clean them with, or not what you shouldn't clean them with.
Just don't.
the thing of it is that I am a full disclosure on my part, because there are certain circumstances where I have to remove some things from coins and restore them.
Same here.
And that's just the way it is. But I don't recommend anyone else doing it unless they learn how to do it from someone who's experienced, because you can harm coins.
Absolutely, very easily.
And definitely you don't want to use things like toothpaste. Toothpaste actually has a little bit of aluminum in it. I mean, it actually has some metal in it. It's some of it. I don't know if it still does.
What are the ones that I've heard for coins? I don't mean to interrupt you, though. I've heard toothpaste, ketchup, vinegar, all of those will damage a coin.
Yes.
All damage the surface of a coin.
And a lot of times the coin's already been cleaned. You just don't know it. Yeah. So when you do dip it or whatever, it looks horrible. You just made it even worse. Sometimes you got to just leave it alone. If you don't have the experience, just don't do it. I do recommend that. I do say that. But
I don't know if this camera is going to pick it up right, but I have a 1904 Indian head that the only reason I hold on to this is to use an example to show old cleaning. Because at first glance, if you saw this in a 2x2, it would look like an AU example, problem-free. But when you look at it close, you can see the remnants of the dirt inside the letters and on the date. The areas that if a coin was dirty and you cleaned it, dirt would stay behind. You can still see that. So the coin itself had you can't see it in here, had toned back up. So it looks good at first, but when you look at it up close, a grading company would definitely put a details grade on it. Yeah. But to an untrained eye, it would look like a good coin, but it's really a details grade. It's not going to show up well on this camera. I was going to use it in a video at some point. So,
oh, there you do. That's the thing about the conservation services, though. You only want to use that on a coin that is going to be a high dollar coin, because it's going to cost you. They're going to charge you a fee, sometimes about $60, I think NGC was, and then plus a percentage of whatever that coin value is after they restore it. So it can get pretty pricey. I know the coin that I had was a standing quarter. It was a 1918. And, when they restored it, it ended up costing me like over $100. But yet the coin was worth $300 or $400 because of the grade it was in. So that was one of the reasons why I did it. But it was so dark that it wouldn't have sold very well. I mean, I know some people will still buy them, but some people do not touch them whenever they have a lot of dark toning on them.
On that note, NGC's I'm about to pull up your channel so I can see this too while it's live, but I'll do that here in a minute. NGC's conservation service, I really like it. They do a really good job of restoring the coins properly, in my opinion. It does get expensive, as Daniel was saying, depending on the coin. But if you have a higher end coin and you want it cleaned or something, I would strongly suggest sending it to somebody like NGC or any of the other coin grading companies that would have a similar service, as opposed to trying to do it yourself. Now, on that note, though, there are products that if you do want to do it yourself, you can purchase that will do it safely. And it definitely depends on the metal. But there's things like VertiCare, or there's just little things, but they don't really remove the grit and grime. They leave the patina. They don't cut into the coin. But there are products that if you are adamant about cleaning your coin, you can safely clean a coin. But again, I mean, even using a cotton swab on a coin can create hairline scratches, damage the surface of coin. So unless you know what you're doing, I strongly encourage people to stay away from cleaning coins.
Yeah, and what Robert stated, you do not want to do anything with a copper coin. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what you do. I've experimented. I did the hard stuff for you. I took the sacrifice.
Exactly.
I thought, I had some coppers that were in rolls that had been wet, and they were different colors. They had corrosion on them. Some of them had like it's almost like a crusty on them. So I took them and used MS70. I used E-Zest. MS70 could put some purple tone on them, but you could tell that they'd been messed with, and that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to rub them with your shirt. I mean, there's just different things. Copper coins is something I just don't mess with. I'm sure there's someone out there that knows how to do that, but I don't, and I've never had any luck.
I've mostly handled copper coins, so when I have had to, I guess, restore a coin, which it's very rare that I ever mess with the surface of a copper coin, because once you start cleaning a copper coin, it changes the color of the metal. It always stands out that coin's been cleaned, especially if it's been improperly cleaned. It turns that ugly orange color. But with cleaning copper coins, I found that using a little bit of acetone, getting the dirt and debris off, and then rinsing it under water is pretty much the only way to not really take away the color of the coin. Anything else, and it changes the color. Even like you were saying, MS70 and all that stuff will change the color of it.
I would like to add just to this. I have bought coins that were harshly clean. Daniel can tell you, you get them at a great discount. And sometimes what I do is I will buy it so cheap and it's such a high grade, I will put coins from that era. I don't care what the era is. I have what I call sacrificial coins from that era. I'll stick it in my pocket, or depending upon the era, I may stick it in a leather pouch, which was back before the 50-ish, and I will put it in there. I've got it to where there's a little bit of it's not really dirt, and it's not, but it's dirty. How's that sound? And I will literally wear a half of a grade to a grade off of the coin, and I have resubmitted them and got them graded to have a solid grade because I put it back into circulation the way it would have been, and you actually wear off the cleaning. Now I'm talking strictly silver. Again, copper, you can't do nothing with copper, period, or copper nickel. Like the large sense.
Bill 457 in comments. Sorry. Yeah. What happened? I don't hear anything anymore.
What's that?
Oh, well, I was going to say, Robert, real quick. Bill 457 in comments had mentioned about using olive oil, like on large scents. And olive oil, it takes a very long time to clean with olive oil, but copper coins or bronze coins, like a large cent or ancients, olive oil works really well, but it does take, you got to soak it for long periods of time. But I didn't know there.
Anytime I've ever used olive oil, I have noticed the color variation. How about you, Daniel?
Yes. I mean, it seems like you always get some type of variation. I'm going to show a coin here. I just bought a typeset that had a bunch of clean coins. Almost every one of them were clean. And I'm going to see if I can do this here and we can look at it. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see if we can. Can you see the green?
Yep.
Which is the toning from the cardboard it was in. It was in a cardboard holder. At one time it was cleaned, and this area here has not yet retoned. Now, it's possible that over time it could have, but you can see in here, this is not natural toning here.
Right, right.
So I knew that when I saw the coin, even though it has some nice details and it's not a bad looking coin, it's a desirable coin, it has been cleaned. And then on the reverse of it, it's a little more difficult to tell because it's toned up pretty good. But this coin would be a details grade. I don't know if you guys, can you see that?
I can see it.
Is it up enough? Let me see. I got a few more images. And here's another one that was in the set as well. It seems like the copper turned green based off of whatever chemical was in that cardboard it was in. And it was one of them old type sets.
Well, that's the natural color copper goes to. That's why when they put it on houses and once the patina gets onto it, it actually turns green.
Yes. Yeah. And you can see here with the area where it's not, where it had been cleaned at one time in the past.
Right.
And then here's the reverse. So it was really kind of odd because both the copper coins that was in here, the half cents, were just like this.
Man, and that one had some nice details too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice coin. I mean, I, they'll sell real easily, but yet they sell at a discount. Obviously.
That's a good subject to talk about. I don't know if I know we never prepared for that. We was talking about cleaning, but and quite honestly, I think the pricing of cleaned items changes drastically depending upon the cleaning, the looks of the coin, how it is, maybe let's say heading back to getting some patina and stuff like that on it.
Yeah, and another thing, when a coin's cleaned, and I was talking about the value of them, they still have a value, but you've decreased the value, and it depends on how the coin looks, because the eye appeal is going to be everything. There's some coins that I may think's cleaned, and someone looking at it to buy it don't think it's clean. They're like, well, what's wrong with that coin? Well, I'm a little more picky, so I'm seeing things that some other people might not see on a coin. Like you guys, when you got the experience, you can pick up on it.
Yeah, real quick.
Pete's Bow said, what's a good way to remove lacquer from a half cent? Are you sure it's not lacquer? Because lacquer was not invented until after the half cents were gone. It may be shellac, and if it's shellac, denatured alcohol.
Yeah, acetone, I think, is one of the things can remove that.
Acetone would take lacquer off, yeah, but I doubt it would just gunk up on shellac.
Speaking of the shellac, why was it popular at one point in time for coin collectors to shellac their coins?
That's something I don't know, but I heard that it was to protect them and to make them look clean.
There was a time frame in the when shellac was popular in the earlier days, guys. They shellac. It did a good job shellac because it's an alcohol base, and take a penny and dip it in alcohol, see what happens. Nothing. Right. Well, when they shellacked them, it would just seal everything up. The best part about it is I bought a lot of shellac pennies that were valuable coins, and they said, I'll discount it because it's got the shellac on it. Take it home, put a little bit of denatured alcohol. It will always reactivate the shellac, take it right off, and it looks like a brand new penny, and it will grade. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's see. Richard said, if you want to see some clean coins, go to eBay. That's funny, but it's true because the main thing about that is that they're not telling you they're clean. And another thing is a lot of those are getting cracked out of genuine holders. So in other words, when you send a coin into NGC or PCGS, you can opt in to have them holder genuine, or you can get a details grade. So in other words, you can have very good details. Well, very good details means the coin's clean, because if it has very good 30 on it, then it's problem free. A lot of people confuse that as well. Details does not mean it has very good details. It means it was cleaned. They won't give it what they call the numeric of the alphanumeric grade. So you see that a lot. They'll crack them open and they'll put them up on eBay like they're problem free, and there'll be coins that are pretty close. Maybe they've been over dipped at one time or something like that. And they'll make a real good picture of them, and people are buying them like hotcakes, and they'll never be able to get them submitted. Now, I'm not saying there's not some of them that wouldn't submit problem free, because sometimes the TPGs don't get it right too. I've had that happen to me.
Whimsy Maker says, there's a bar in Livingston, Montana that has hundreds of Morgans embedded in epoxy. No, Whimsy Maker, it's over 50,000. And when I bought the dollar, it was $126,000 at that bar, if it's the same bar I think it is. And it was wonderful. I just wanted to dig some of them out because there's some keys in there. However, they have a nice little plaque with a bullet hole in it, and said this is from the last guy who tried to dig out one of the dollars.
Now I want to show you guys something that's going to make everybody cry a little bit, I think.
Uh-oh.
Let's see
Let's get her gear done. Ouch!
Does everybody know what this is?
I do.
Do you know what the denomination is?
Oh,
I believe I do.
Because this is not the worst side.
Oh,
When you got a big old hole in it,
yeah.
this is an
That's
actual
it.
seeded dollar. It's $1, and look what they did to it.
Oh my land!
I was gonna say the hole could be plugged and you still retain a little value, but man, the graffiti on the reverse is, gosh,
It's bad, but you know what? When you check, I mean, it's got some good details on it. I mean, as a dealer, when someone brings this in, what do you pay him for this coin? Does anybody want to say what they would pay for?
Scrap value?
Spot.
Spot.
It's a whole silver coin. That most coin shops only offer you spot on something like that.
Wow. See, I don't, because I know it still has a value to it. And I know that I check eBay on what the clean coins have actually sold for on eBay.
What would the value on that be if it did not have the graffiti or hole or cleaning?
Oh, this one here, you're probably looking at a $900 coin because of the details.
So,
see, I can see the Liberty. So we're looking at a coin that's possibly in a fine range, and it might be very fine if it wasn't cleaned.
Yeah, so, look closer at that shield. I believe it's also a double die.
Well, that's a part of the design there, I think.
Nah.
And right here.
Let's look down at the feet real quick. If it is, you'll see it on the. No, okay, never mind. You're right. That's all part of the design. You just seen it down there in the edge.
Yeah, but yeah, it's. I think that this coin like this will go for 150 to $200 because if you even knew the low mintages of these coins, I mean, we're talking 30. Let's see, I can't remember exact mintages, but I think 100-some-thousand for some of them, and there's some that's even less than that.
What year is that? 1944.
Yeah. I don't have my book out.
Just checking. I'll tell you the population on it.
I don't have it memorized, but it's low, and that's why it would still have a value even at this, because it's going to be a hole filler for someone, and it's actually got a hole in it. But
a hole filler with a hole.
Yep. You can tie it around your put it around your neck. Here's another one, 1835. I mean, and it's a cap bust $50. And it's been cleaned. You can see the toning again. It's that cardboard that did it, started toning them back. This person bought them from a dealer a long time ago, you know, paid a pretty good amount of money for them. Don't know if they were told they were a problem or not, but, you know, I made the best offer that I could. I was very fair with my offer on these coins.
Hey,
and I've got some of them up on my website for sale. I mean, you know, like I said, I don't have any trouble selling them as whole fillers myself. But, you know, I mean, this is, look at this.
I like that.
Wow.
Wow. Yes, I just now saw that. I love that.
Yeah, it's drape bust, and you can see the lines in it. It actually has, it looks like a little bit of a die break here or something. I'm not 100% sure. It looks
like a die break.
It's been cleaned so much. And then the reverse here is even worse. You know, it's a drape bust half, so yeah, it's. And that's what they call the, well, they got the heraldic eagle on this instead of the small eagle. I had two different versions of that. But anyways, I just wanted to show those a little bit there. I don't know if you guys have any pictures of clean coins that are close or questionable or.
Wow, that's nice. No, I don't. Somebody saying, how much, Daniel?
Hey, Daniel.
It's up on my website. I probably even take offers on it. I can't remember. I put up a bunch of stuff today.
Hey, Daniel.
Uh-huh.
That 1844 seated survival estimate in all grades is only 1,750. So it's got a very high rarity rating too, but it's less than 1,700 of them out there in any grades, basically.
Yeah, I mean, and what I did was I went to eBay and I was looking and I was seeing them for selling for, you know, close to $200 cleaned with issues. And this one here has more details than those did. And even though it has a hole and it has some really bad marks on the reverse, I mean, I don't know. I guess I look at this right like it is right now that I showed at the front of it. And to me, I like it. Now I see the reverse, you know, the reverse I don't, but this here I can kind of deal with that if I needed that for my album and I could get it cheap. You know, like you said, it is rare.
What are you asking for on that 1803 or was that an 1803 or 1806? Oh, 1806.
I can't remember. I think for this one, I don't know, it might have been in the 1805. I have an 1806 quarter.
Did you check to see if it's the knob 6 with no stems?
No, that's an 1805.
It's over here. We can take a look at it here. Hold on. This one's.
Oh, that one now.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's what
that one. And that's got repaired. There's a die crack or no cud right here, a retained cud, it looks like.
A small retained card.
Yeah. But, you know, like I said, it's got stuff going for it, but it has stuff going against it, too.
Ooh, look at that graffiti right in the center.
It's really bad. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I like this one better. You got sunlight on you now.
Yeah, it's coming from the window in front of me, and that's my brother's. I'm not a Bills fan. That's my brother's ball.
But, you know, the thing of it is about these coins, I mean, they're just too rare for them not to have a numismatic value. But those are the kind of coins that you would send in to have restored if they were restorable. These are not restorable. I mean, these have been dug into the metal. They're circulated. You know, they're basically hole fillers, but they're high-end hole fillers, if there's such a word. I don't know if you got any clean coin drop or anything there that I've got a few things here, but my camera has trouble focusing half the time.
Yeah, the only thing I have, guys, is damaged. Honestly, I mean, I never got them ready. I just took in, you know, I just ended my auction, so.
Yeah, but you know, the thing of it is, it was a really nice set. I mean, you hated to see it. There was all these coins in it, and you know, they were rare coins, and they were cleaned, damaged. I mean, there really wasn't anything in the way of real nice coins. The ones that were not the real common ones. There was a real nice 1943 half dollar. Look, there's a slider AUBU in between there. I already sold it. And I sold the, I'm trying to bring it up here if I can show it. Okay, here it is. Let me see here. This one here is a 20 cent.
Yep.
And it's been cleaned, but yet it also is toned up enough and has that looks halfway decent. I mean, I thought it looked like a pretty good coin. But the thing about it is, when you look at the back, it's a CC.
Oh, I was about to ask if it's an S or a CC or just
and it's a better one. And you know, and you're like, man, I looked and I saw that C when I turned it over and I was appraising it, and I thought, well, it's a CC, you know, and that helps it a little bit. But that coin there, that's the coin I'd probably consider buying, even if you know I knew it was clean, because obviously I'm buying any coins, but you know what I mean. If I was a collector, because it's okay, it not look too bad. I felt kind of comfortable. I did have a customer for that one. He was wanting one, and I was able to make him a really good deal on it. He was afraid to ask me how much I wanted. I sent him pictures, and I was like, "Man, it's a you know, it's a good coin, but it's not anything great, you know, as far as condition wise." Hitting the wrong tabs.
Well, much tougher with the 20-cent pieces. That's a much tougher one to find. Typically, when you see the 1875, it's the S mint mark because it's the most common one out there, but that's a tough one to find. I mean, they start in a solid grade in a PCGS G4 around $200 and go up from there. So even with a details grade and being as rough as yours, it's still going to fetch some decent money.
Yeah, it will regardless. There are some coins, and that's what I was going to say about value. There's some coins that don't decrease that much in value when they're clean, as long as they're not too bad. I mean, they've got to have some eye appeal to them. But most coins that are common, you don't want to clean like Morgan dollars or your pennies and stuff like that, because you are going to hurt the value of them. You don't want to touch your key dates. Sometimes your key dates are just better off dirty. You're better off with a problem on them instead of creating more problems with them. You know, because I know some of them will have toning on them that's unsightly, but, you know, I've seen copper coins with tape. I mean, what do you ever do with a copper coin that has tape on it? Well, if you found a 1909 SVDB in a Whitman folder that someone had taped over,
I would take it off and I would use acetone on it, get rid of the tape residue, and whatever it is then. That's what
I mean, you almost have to. I mean, I see that a lot. I've seen people bring in coins and they got the Whitman folders and every one of them's taped over. I've seen them like entombed like mummies.
Now, again, if you have somebody that had it taped up with like a masking tape, take and start off with like a denatured alcohol, and if that works, you're good. If not, then move on to xylene, and if that works, again, you're good. If not, then the last would be acetone. I use all three, only to remove just foreign material off of a coin, and I start with the least what we call hot in the business of construction, and that would be your denatured alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did want to bring up with cleaning coins, I've seen a lot of people that will come across, and I'm going to use Indian heads for example. I was over at C Stamp and Coin just yesterday. I stopped by. He's got a big bin of Indian heads, and every now and then I'll go searching through looking for fine condition or better commons, you know. And in there are some that look like they would fetch almost an uncirculated grade, like AU uncirculated, but they have bits of corrosion on them. And over the years, I've seen people take things like Indian heads with corrosion, thinking that they can clean that off and get more money for it. And you might be able to stop that corrosion, but once you clean that corrosion off, just wanted to put it out there that it leaves these deep pits in the coin, and it kind of makes it even uglier.
It
So
does.
put that out there because people try cleaning that off, and sometimes it's best just to leave it as is.
I do. And I also want to mention that I have several videos on clean coins, and I recommend watching those videos because I go into a little more detail. You know, we didn't really plan what we were going to do this video on until like the last couple hours. We started talking about it because we knew we wanted to do one tonight. So I really didn't prepare myself with a lot of notes to kind of show people a lot of this stuff and what to look for. But whenever you're looking at a coin that's been cleaned, I mean, you don't just look for lines because they don't always have lines on them. There's other ways like whizzing and things that can conceal the lines where they would put an acid on it to kind of eliminate some of the grooves that they made in the coin. There's all these different ways that a coin could have been dipped in maybe a real harsh hydrochloric acid they used to use to test gold coins or test gold with.
Sure.
And when you see that, you're looking at a coin that has the actual striking layer, that real thin layer on the top that's been removed. And it has what I call lack of contrast. You won't see the depth of field that you normally see on a problem-free coin. Now, that doesn't always mean that that coin's been cleaned when you see that. I've seen NGC and PCGS grade coins that seem like maybe the die was just overly polished a little bit after a die clash, and you won't have a lot of the cameo effect on it. I've seen that too, and that can be confusing. And so there's no real perfect way, but you know, you can get yourself in that 90% mode where you're catching most of them when you see them.
Oh, you're saying about how once it's been like hit with like the hydrochloric acid, like gold test acid or any of that stuff, how it really weakens and softens the overall design because, you know, it's taken away that top surface. It's essentially what's happening when you're making an acid date buffalo nickel. If you get the dateless buffalo nickels, you're making acid dates. That's basically what you're doing is you're stripping away that top layer. And when you do that to the entire coin, as Daniel said, it literally weakens where there should be details in the hair. It just becomes really smooth. It really does change the appearance of the coin drastically in some cases. But as Daniel was saying again, if you have an overpolished coin, it's also going to have really weak design elements. So it does pay to know about cleaned coins and what to look for beyond just that too. But yes.
I'm going to grab something real fast. I'll be back a second, guys. I got one.
Okay. I would say as a good rule of thumb, if you're going to clean a coin, go find some pocket change or some cheap coins out of a grab bag, a cheap bin, a dollar bin. Experiment with them. That would be the one way. Don't put a $10,000 coin. Don't try to take and improve it. Get you a dollar coin. Try to improve it. Then you'll see just how difficult it can be if you don't know what you're doing.
Who has heard of a California cameo? I bought a 1922 piece dollar that was expertly whizzed and had the devices frosted over again.
Seriously?
What
California
cameo use on that, Daniel? I don't know. I've never heard. I've never played with it.
It's in the comments.
That was expertly was had
Oh, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. Yeah.
Oh.
I've never heard of it called a California cameo, but I have heard of people whizzing it up and polishing up the fields, and then they'll frost the actual bust. I've seen that. I had a dealer come up to me wanting to sell it to me. I was like, you know, that's clean, right? You know, it's doctored. Well, I thought it was proof-like. I'm like, no. You can tell it's not even. It's not the same. So I got a coin here. Let me see if I can. I'll get myself up here.
Happy birthday, Austin.
Oh.
What?
That wasn't supposed to be there.
Well, I'm glad I was going to say
Oh,
something.
we're done. Forget it. Here, I'll do it this way. See if you guys can see this coin really good. If I can get it up here on this. If it'll focus for me. I have so much trouble with my focus. I got another camera. I got two Logitechs. And it just doesn't want to do it. There it is.
You go, right there.
Okay. What do you guys think of this coin?
Initial appearance looks okay.
Okay.
But I'm
now it got PCGS genuine cleaned. Unk detail.
Okay, can you flip it over?
Yeah, and when you flip it over, you can actually see where what it's supposed to look like. See, this is the frosty appearance of a peace dollar. That is what it's supposed to look like. I know you got the plastic interfering and my lighting is not very good.
Right.
But you can see the frosty. When you turn it over, it's the lack of it. This to me, it just seems like someone might have took some diluted hydrochloric acid and kind of tried to smooth out some of the contact marks on the cheek to make it look like it was a gem coin.
Right.
And it looks like down by the N in God We Trust that the die was messed with a little bit. So I'm not even sure if that would actually be a clean coin. I kept this coin. I sent it off on purpose because I was pretty positive that what I was going to get. And let's see if I can get us all up here. I can't remember which ones to click. But anyway, my brain's focused on this stuff. But this coin right here, I sent off on purpose. I don't know whether it's possible that maybe even the die had a little issue, and when it struck the coin, it gave it this surface, and that we just don't know what it was yet. So then it gets labeled as clean. Because I've looked at this thing under the scope. There's no clean lines on it. I can tell that the die was messed with a little bit because of the IN. That is, you've seen on Mercury dimes, little shiny areas on them.
Yep. I've
Well,
seen
that's
them
what
on
this is.
piece
And you know
dollars
that's not
too.
clean.
I've seen them on piece dollars as well.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what this is. See, so that's
And
not
even
clean
Morgan's,
part.
Daniel. I've seen them on Morgan's too.
Yeah.
Straight
Yeah,
out.
I have too. But Mercury dimes stick out to me because a lot of clash marks seem like you see them do that on those because they're smaller, and in the area they'll hit it on the die. But like I said, this is a really nice coin, and like I said, I've had it in a holder for a couple of years now, and I just keep it as an example, to show people.
Well, yeah, I've taken in a lot of the stuff that like I say, when I was younger, I wanted to know what I was buying, so I experimented, and I still have a lot of them that I kept from way back, just to see how they age, so that, and I'll pick them up now. Look, I've got a whole box. I mean, there's not a lot in there, maybe 30, 40 coins, but I look at them from time to time.
See, it's a 1923 Liberty Seeker.
Yeah.
So I will say another thing. Like I resubmit coins sometimes. I had a friend of mine who had a 1928 peace dollar, and he had me send it off, and it came back AU 58. And I told him, I said, that coin is mint state. I'll need to resubmit it. It'll be worth it. It should be mint state 63. And so I cracked it out. I did not damage this coin. Okay. It had a mark on its neck, or on its down here around its on the neckline. And when I submitted it, they actually graded it. Unk details as the regrade scraped. And I'm thinking, I didn't scrape it. It never looked any different. I know people were thinking he probably did it, didn't want to tell him, but no, I did not. I would never do that to him. The coin was not any different, but they thought it was, I don't know how you can grade something circulated and then turn around and grade it unk and then put scraped on it. So, but it happened to me. I've actually sent coins in and had them upgrade. I've done that before. I actually have, but that's not what we're talking about here so much, but the cleaning part. But
well, let's talk about a little bit of that, because I seen an original 1936D Buffalo nickel roll. I seen the roll brand new, never opened. Okay. I looked at the ends. I'm very knowledgeable. I saw a lot of rolls. I know a lot about original rolls of penny, nickel, dime, quarter, and so on. And this was as original as they come. Sent every one of them in to one of the third-party grading companies, and I'll just let you know, it was one of the two bigger ones. I ain't going to mention which one. However, out of the 40 coins, get this, 12 of them came back as being cleaned.
oh,
It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, and even looking in the holder, I'm looking at it like, this is a beautiful coin. Where do they get cleaned? Was somebody
crack them out and send them right back in?
It's happened. You always have a head scratcher. I'm not afraid to say who I send coins to because I send it to all of them. But I sent a 5 really nice gem, and they were actually in Blanchard holders from back in the 80s, and I knew they were 65, so I sent all 5 of them in. All of them came back 65 or 64, and one of them came back cleaned. And you know why it came back clean? The only thing I could figure out was that the coin had some roller marks, but the roller marks were under where the die was pitted. So you had these little pimples on the coin. And I've seen that plenty of times on coins that were graded problem free. I know what it is. So I sent it to NGC and they gave it a Mint State 64. So I had probably, way more money in the coin than it was worth, but I proved the point. Well, it was in one of my videos, I think.
Now, this isn't a cleaned coin. This is an annex graded coin, but this is one that I use for teaching purposes. This is one I've held on for teaching purposes. First of all, the first thing I like explaining about this is a 1937 Buffalo nickel graded AU 55 details. It's got scratched. But first of all, a 1937 Buffalo nickel, even in a low unk, doesn't bring enough money to even constitute grading it. So why would you grade a circulated coin is beyond me. Some people still do, but the value of this coin is it's not even worth the value of the holder it's in. But this one has a really fine scratch, and I use this for teaching. One of the dogs is at my door. You're not going to be able to see it here, but it has a really fine scratch on the head, and it's from somebody pulling it out of a 2x2 that still had a staple in it, and it left a really fine staple scratch. So I like showing that to people to show what just a tiny little staple could do to a beautiful coin. It is a beautiful coin. I agree with the grade. It's overall just a great strike. It's a great coin, but it got scratched and it should never have been put in a holder in the first place.
Yeah, you know what a cotton swab will do to a proof?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Q-tip one time, I swear.
I sandpaper to a regular coin. That is all over it.
You just went from 65 to PR 60 in a heartbeat. Or clean. I have bought so many clean coins, and so I've seen so many things done to coins. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out what this person did to this coin. You know why? And of course, over the years, you learn what they did to it.
Right. Yep. Well, that's why I took it. Actually, I learned that Q-tip from here again. I purposefully would try different things with very inexpensive coins, so I know what to look at and what to look for. It was basically self-experimenting.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said, I handle coins so much that it's easy to hurt them, but it's also not easy to hurt them. It takes sometimes I think it's just a freak accident. Sometimes a coin gets scraped by a staple because I'll tell you what, talk about staples. Hey, I remove my coin through the plastic Mylar. I don't even mess with the staples.
Oh, yeah.
When you're in this business, you're going to have rusted staples. You're going to have all kinds of jagged staples and everything else. You just want to break that plastic and remove it that way.
Yep, that's what I try to teach people.
You have a demonstration of that?
Yeah. Pop it right
I don't know
out.
if I got one, but I could do it.
I mean, there the Mylar's even still on
Yeah,
it.
see, I got the Mylar here.
Yeah, you got a big one, so I'd probably show
Just
better.
like that, and it's
I
out.
bust the coins out. I use my nail.
Yeah,
and I
it's
go
right there.
coin, and I bust them right out.
Yep,
I don't take the staples. I just bust them out the plastic.
that's what I did right here.
Yep, that's the
Staples are still on it, and you ain't going to scratch your coin. You know.
professional tip of the day. Do it that way, and you'll be okay.
And so then, as far as cleaned, also a lot of people wonder about environmental damage. Is something else I wanted to talk about. It doesn't necessarily mean that the coin was damaged by the environment that it was in, but yet it is environmental damage. Basically, if a coin's in the ground, and it will obtain environmental damage, but not because it's out in an environment. I mean, it's not It's not exactly what it means. It kind of an umbrella term to cover a coin where the surface has been affected by how it was stored, improperly stored, and things like that.
Store a coin in one of those flips for over 6 months to a year, and you're going to get an environmental damage grade. One of those flips that Robert's holding, those 2x2.
That's why I got it out, and that's why it's also empty.
Is that the vinyl?
Yes.
Yeah, non-plasticized.
Right. If you get one that it's not making noise when I do this, you can put it in there maybe to take it from your collection, take it to the dealer. When you get home, get it out.
Use it for shipping, or the coin grading companies like them in those. Only use those plastic ones like that for shipping or very short-term storage. Over long periods of time, it's going to turn your coins this ugly, nasty green that you can't do anything with. It's going to destroy your coins.
They're not allowed in my shop.
Environmental damage. If you were to have your coin collection sitting right here on the table and some water were to get into it, and it were to just over time change the surface of any of those coins, that would be listed as environmental damage as well, because it was not properly secured and stored.
Yeah.
Just saying, there's a lot of things that'll cause environmental damage.
Yeah, a lot of things. A lot of people, well, we'll talk about the environmental damage as far as in the ground. I get a lot of that. That causes pitting and corrosion. One side can be worse than the other, and usually is. Nickels will turn a reddish color. A lot of people mistake those for copper. They're not copper.
Yep.
And that's one thing that you see a lot of. It will turn it red for whatever reason.
As a young collector, I came across one of those nickels that somebody had pulled out of the ground. They cleaned up, and to me, it looked like a nickel on a copper planchet. And I thought I had gold. I bought it for $5 off the guy, thinking I scored big time. I was all happy until I walked into the coin shop and was like, "No, that's just a ground recovered nickel." And it was like, oh.
William Baker asks, what is your opinion of the cleaner MS70? My opinion is that is a very mild dip that can be used to remove tape residue, PVC, and things like that. You know, always exercise caution using it. What about you guys?
I've used it to take and to get minor dirt off. It seems to work okay.
Not on copper, though. It'll turn copper.
The key is when you use any, I don't care what the dip is, clean it. Now, or rinse it. And when I mean rinse, I'm not talking put it under the sink for maybe 10 seconds and it's done. No, I'm talking 2-3 minutes inside.
The MS70, I think it's a good product if it's used the way that it's supposed to be used. It's a great product. Like Daniel was saying, he uses it to get little bits of debris and stuff off. That's what it's meant to be used for. I personally, I don't know if either of you guys have used it, but VertiCare, it's a little bit more expensive, but I really like that as opposed to any of the other ones I've ever used.
Yeah, I've used that. It pretty much evaporates.
Yeah.
You know, you don't even have to do anything else with it. I have that. I've used pretty much everything that's on the market, I think.
The VertiCare was originally made for the dental industry to remove debris off of dental metals without damaging the metal. And that's why it works on coins, because it's made to not damage the metals whatsoever.
I thought you were going to tell me to clean teeth.
My teeth are all messed up, man.
The original whitener.
I got cigarette stains.
I don't even want to think about that. I've never tried any dip on my teeth.
That's liable to take. You know what?
Don't try this at home. Don't, please. I don't mean
to get this. Believe it or not, I can't remember what the product was, but there was one product that they had a warning label that it is poisonous, and the ANA did a research or something, or somebody in the ANA did it, and apparently one person took and drank the stuff and it killed them. I can't remember which
thing. You can't do that, guys. This is poison stuff we're talking about. You don't put it in your mouth. We shouldn't even need labels on our stuff, please. Oh my goodness. Kristen Bailey asked, then what is a good product for storing coins? Well, we use 2x2s with Mylar flips, okay, or just use Mylar flips. I sell them out of the shop. Sometimes I have them on the website, but you can buy them from JP's Corners, Wizard Coin Supply. Highly recommend their services. Really good companies to deal with. I deal with all of them. You can get the 2x2 flips. And when you call them, if you have to, get Mylar. Tell them you want Mylar flips for your coins. They come with little cardboard inserts you can put in there, and you can label a date on it, or you can use just a price sticker, even put a date on it.
Charles Vance, snap blocks are great. You want to use snap blocks, go for it, man. They're great.
Yeah.
Sorry, Daniel. Didn't want to interrupt you. Somebody just asked about.
No, you're good. I was. I'm going to answer the question because I think we probably missed a few of them.
Yeah, do you hear the sound of that one? Just even him messing with it. If you can hear sound when if it's like, when you like a plasticky sound.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
They tear easy. You can fold them; they'll tear easy.
Yeah, they do.
All right, but I don't want to destroy it, Daniel.
Vinyl is supple and softer.
Right, these are soft. You don't hear nothing.
Okay, Helen Gardner asks, can you use foam, soap, and water? Well, I'll tell you this. I wouldn't. You can use soap and water on certain circumstances, but we don't really know what coin you're talking about here. I just don't. If it's copper, unless it's dirty and it's a common coin, you just want to see what it'll do. That's up to you. It's your coin. I'm not going to recommend the foam because I don't know what kind of chemicals is in the foam soap, and I also don't know what they use to actually give the smell to it. I'm talking about they put different ingredients in those.
Perfume.
Well, yeah, perfume. I was trying to think of something else. There's other chemicals. And what about airtight holders?
Yeah,
airtight holders without the foam ring seem to be all right. But it's also going to be about where you store your coin. You don't want to just store it anywhere. In humid environments and moisture and all that will cause them to tone anyways.
I think this here for long-term storage. I've had coins from the first day I started collecting in these. I still have some of my first coins, and they haven't changed. Now, this is a circulated one. This is the way it was when I put it in there. But I love my old-fashioned. I seen Lincoln say, I love my old-fashioned 2x2s.
Yeah, same. I'm a big fan. Standard, cheap 2x2. They're great. They do a great job. They last for a long time. For better coins, I put them in the snap tights. I put them in my own little self slabs if I don't send it off for grading. Otherwise, it goes off for grading.
TX Alex asked, would you say all coins on eBay are cleaned, or are there trusted sellers out there? No, all coins are not cleaned on eBay. Okay, there are trusted sellers on eBay.
Seller on eBay.
And then someone else, pennies to Benji's, ask, what about a rose thorn? No, do not use a rose thorn on your coin. I mean, okay, maybe a toothpick sometimes when you want to look, see if it's an RPM and it's a real cruddy looking coin, maybe. Maybe that, but don't use a rose thorn.
Hey guys, Charles Vance has a really good question. He says, how do you get the white discoloration off of mint set coins, the milk spots? How do you get rid of milk spots?
I can tell you how I don't get rid of them. I don't even try.
I don't either. I don't even mess with them. Good luck.
I mean, I've literally, I'll tell you this right now. I've dipped plenty of silver eagles with milk spots on them, and my results were they were still there.
Yep.
I mean, I know some people say you can get some of it off. Maybe you can lighten it a little bit, but if my understanding is if that's part of the wash that didn't get completely rinsed off the coin, then it was struck into the coin surface and then it toned afterwards, turned white milk.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, what you're seeing that on there, those white milk spots, that is left over of the rinse that they use on the coins. And as Daniel just said, if it was like that when it got struck, well, it's kind of now in the coin. You're probably not going to get that off.
Yeah, when you're talking about how many tons strike a silver eagle, it's going to embed the molecules of that detergent or whatever it is that's on that into the coin. And that's why you see those milk spots.
Robert's smiling because he's got a secret.
Oh, I know. No.
Robert, what's your secret?
No,
you have to share it. We're live.
No, guys, I don't know. I'm just sitting there because, I mean, everything you're saying is stuff that, I took in. Somebody asked me that same question, and I purposefully bought a roll of American Silver Eagles to see if there was anything to do. I mean, I actually did get them for scrap value. They were so milked up. and I tried everything. I mean, it took me almost a month of trying different products, and I'm like you, Daniel. I won't mess with them. I mean,
Robert, we are approaching an hour, and I know that Joe Durbin you're going to mention him. And
and Lincoln has been putting a link to his auction. But yeah, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, guys, Joe Durbin, if you're in the channel, you want to go to an auction with somebody who's honest, you guys are just talking about that. Joe Durbin, he's in the channel right there. Lincoln Central is putting a link up to his channel, and he's going to have an auction tonight. And he's a trusted, I feel he's very trustworthy. I've bought from him. I have no problems with him. He's a friend of CoinOpp, and I support him wholeheartedly. So
he's a friend of CoinHelp too, and makes great coin bells. I know a lot of people think, making coins, yes, but you know what, guys?
Now here's a Rolex, baby. This is the Rolex.
That is.
I'm serious. Hold on. Well,
yeah. Hey, you're welcome, Joe. Anytime, man.
Hey, real quick, guys. Texas TX Alex. I'm assuming it's Tex Alex. Asked if Dustin has a channel as well. Tex Alex, I've actually started CoinOpp. I was the original creator, host, and founder of CoinOpp, and then partnered with Robert. Now I still do produce videos for CoinOpp, but CoinOpp is mostly Robert's at this point. I do have other YouTube channels, but not on coins. I still write books on coins, and I'm active with coins. But at this time, I only produce coin videos for CoinOpp.
How you like that, Daniel?
Oh, yeah, it's nice. Mark Morkel said, sorry if I said it wrong. Will coins left in a place where the temperature fluctuates be graded with environmental damage? Not unless they obtain some type of oddball toning or weird something about the coin that destroyed the surface. I don't know, guys. What time is his auction? I mean, we're almost approaching the hour here.
7 p.m. Central.
Okay. So that means
he's got time.
He's an hour away. Okay.
Yeah, well, we're 33 minutes. I'm in Texas at 6:27 right now. So
isn't that something? How the
those
time
are the bills that he makes, guys. And that's just 3 of them. We got about 6 or 7 I own. I love him.
It says, I was told that those milk spots, if left to their own demise, is like the beginning of toning. No, it's not the same thing as toning.
That's not true, Paul.
Toning is a chemical reaction. Okay, it's what happens to a coin alloy, with whatever it's exposed to, and also how well the alloy is mixed during the mixing process. Also, all the things that through the minting process, whether it be the annealing oven, if it obtains any molecules that migrate from other metals, or all that stuff, it's a real complicated process why certain coins tone and certain coins don't. But milk spots in and of themselves are just the detergent. I mean, it's just basically a rinse.
Are the Durbins in Texas? Because Diane just said Central Standard Time, Texas, straight down I-35. I live right off of I-35.
Yeah, she would have to go about 1,000 miles down 35.
Oh, I'm in San Antonio. I don't know what part of Texas they're at, but I'm literally
they're up in Montana.
Okay.
Okay. It says Quaint Sharky said, value of detailed coins. Do folks actually collect these? If they get coins back from PCGS and their details, what do you recommend? What percentage less is it worth? It's going to depend on what it is. I mean, sometimes it's say, I'll just go this way. A 1928 peace dollar. It grades details. Well, you're looking at a coin that's going to be worth, $300 or $400. I mean, it's going to, if it was a 63, you can get 600 and $700. So you're talking about a coin that's going to lose a couple $100. It's also going to depend on how harshly it's cleaned. If it's a coin, it can be very hardly discernible as cleaned, then you can typically get a decent price out of it. I sell clean coins, guys, but I tell you they're cleaned. That's the difference in me and some sellers. But I do sell clean coins. What am I going to do with them? I mean, if I got to buy them. Someone wants me to buy them, and I make an offer, and they sell them to me. I've got to clean them. So you'll see them up on my website, but every one of them are labeled clean.
Daniel's a fantastic seller. So is Robert. There are a lot of fantastic sellers in the coin world. And a fantastic seller is somebody that if a coin has a problem of any kind, they're going to list it in the description. I'm sure if Daniel even sees a little rim ding, he's going to let you know about it before you buy it. That's what a decent dealer will do. They'll tell you any problem with it. Because if you send that coin off for grading and it doesn't come back what the dealer thought it was, well, you lose a customer. So
Yeah.
Typically, when you get into dealing coins, you start doing what Daniel does, what Robert does, what any decent dealer is going to do. I do that too, even on eBay. I've sold acid date buffalo nickels. I post them as bottom of the barrel junk, acid date, been treated. I mean, I list everything I can of wrong with it. I don't want them to buy something that they're unhappy with. I want them to know all of it. So that's a good seller. And Daniel, you've always been a good seller. As long as you've been in the coin world, you've always had that reputation of being top notch. So
yeah, I mean, I like I said, I just don't. My name's worth more than the money extra money I could make. I'll say so. I make another $100 on a coin, yay ha, and then my name's mud because I sold it as a problem-free coin. Daniel Martell said, did PCGS and NGC clean coins? No, they'll restore them, which is technically a form of cleaning, but it's not the same thing as cleaning. Right. They're removing unsightly or damage on a coin. I don't think they even touch PVC coins anymore.
I think they call it conserving, though. I think that's the terminology.
Yeah, you're right. It's but they when you read their description over here, I had it up somewhere. Now I can't find it, but I think they use restoration as well in their terminologies. But yeah, I agree. It is called conservation services.
Yeah, it's restoring it. So yeah, they would use it in there. I understand that.
I was trying to find. I had it up here somewhere, but I got a new mouse, and when I've got dual screens, and it doesn't want to push my tabs over the other screen very well, and I'm got to get used to that. Logic. So, guys, if there's anything else, I mean, we're going to wrap it up, and appreciate everybody coming into the chat and asking their questions. You guys, I don't know how much I appreciate you joining in my.
Michael Preston, acetone. Sorry, Daniel.
That's all right. I didn't hear.
So, Michael Preston asked, how do you get nail polish off of a copper coin?
Oh, acetone. Yeah.
Acetone. And then rinse with lots of water, but acetone.
Yeah, I think acetone actually it evaporates, does it not?
Yes, it does. But
you don't have to worry too much. Oh, and I want to say this: if you're going to use acetone, you might want to have some ventilation.
Yeah, acetone.
Well, depends on who you are.
Acetone that you buy at the store is not 100% acetone. So other chemicals, and when it evaporates off, it can leave them behind. So you still want to rinse it with water.
Cool. Okay. Cool. That's good to know. I never used acetone. I just never liked the smell of that. Man, give you a headache.
Okay, well, don't use the fingernail polish acetone because it does have perfumes, lotions, and things like that. And if you get it from a big box store, the pure acetone, it should flash off.
Paul says, why? It smells good. No, not for me, it don't.
Well, okay.
You guys, anything you want to add? Because we'll wrap it up. And
Daniel, yeah, let's give your subscribers and everything just a tentative of us, because I mean, do you want to? Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? You guys are the subscribers. You guys tell us what you want. If you like seeing this, me and Daniel was doing it every other week. Daniel do it once on his, I do it once on CoinOpp, and we would just go back and forth. Dustin would take and join in whenever he had the opportunity to. So do us a favor, and at the end of this, if you're watching this as a rerun, in the comment section below, let us know if you like what you see and if you want more of it. If so, we can do more. I mean, I know Daniel's up for it, and I'm up for it.
I just want to add, when you guys all leave this, make sure you go over to Joe Durbin's auction. Yeah. We're all going to head over there. So when we're done here, head on over to Joe Durbin's auction.
Robert has auctions too.
Huh?
Yes, I have auctions every Wednesday and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I was just plugging Joe Durbin's auction because it's immediately after this stream.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we always plug his too. Yeah. I'll try to get a word in edgewise. I just want to let everybody know that I don't have auctions on my site yet.
Keyword.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Have fun, guys.